Hey folks, you're here because you want to see how to configure the N64 Nightmare script that I just made an overview video for. So if you want to see how it generally works and performs, go watch that previous video. But what this one is a quick code review because a lot of this functionality is incredibly similar to the other scripts I've done, namely the multi-run script, in that I was able to lift a lot of functionality from it, but do a little bit of tweaking to make it work how it needs to for the actual switching between full games. So minimum seconds that before an action, maximum seconds before an action. That will, you can tweak that if you want to change how time works. We have all of our options. So the big thing you want to do is run count right here will need to be changed based on the number of games you are playing. So and the cool thing about this script is that it can functionally run unlimited games because it is not limited to the number of save states that are available. Because normally you got like 10, like numbered save states. And if you wanted to get more, you had to do a lot of really weird named save state stuff, and that's always really chunky. So we start by identifying the game array as, hey, here's what it is. And then you need to say, okay, for each number of run, 1 through 7, there's another corresponding array. And so if you were to add another one, you would copy it. And let's say I want to add 8 games. So I go change a 7 to an 8, and there we go. That creates the slot for number 8. Now I would need to take the game array, put another one, make sure I'm changing this to an 8. And then let's say we're doing Banjo-Tooie. And finally, set the control number, the control button for Banjo-Tooie. So that's if I wanted to add an 8th game. If you want to shrink it, you just delete lines. This ROM path is what I was talking about in the overview video when you needed to change the names of the ROMs to something more string-like because it wasn't a fan of the spaces when I had it. And so that's basically all you need to configure your runs. And so what the script will do is, since we have 8 runs, we set the run count to 8, it'll iterate over for the number of run counts. And I could try to make this smarter, but that requires a lot more logic behind it, and this keeps it simple and incredibly explicit. So everything else you will see is incredibly similar to the multi-run script. It's a relatively short script overall, but this is the meat and potatoes, in which if you want to change how your script is, how you interact with continuing the game, you can change it. Because if you somehow come upon a game that uses both L and Z and has another button that's unused, you can say, okay, here's whatever button you can use. And it will pick that up and make note of that. So that's how you configure it to add more stuff. And that's mostly what the code looks like. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.